With the Living Story 3 patch, one of the big changes was to the infusion system. Previously, we had 14 slots that could accept +5 stat infusions, of which some only took offensive infusions and others defensive. In addition to that, you could craft versatile infusions that went into either slot. On top of that confusion, you had infusion slots that only accepted agony resistance specific infusions. Long story short, it was a complicated mess. Luckily, in this patch, ANET scrapped that system and simplified it. All infusions are now the exact same thing, and any infusion can go into any of your 18 infusion slots. Not only did this increase the potential stat cap of our characters by 20 points, the change to how +5 stat infusions are crafted dramatically lowered the price of hitting the stat cap. Prior to this change, it would have cost something over 2,500 gold to get +5 stat infusions in your 14 slots. Now, in order to get +5 stats in all 18 slots, it would cost you less than 900 gold at today's prices. I know 900 gold sounds like a lot of gold, and especially to less hardcore players it is, but 90 extra stats is a noticeable increase in DPS and hard to ignore. Also, since you can upgrade incrementally over time, one infusion at a time, it is possible for a more casual player to set as a goal hitting the stat cap for themselves. I think at this point, any serious PvEer should have as a goal to equip at least their main character with max stat infusions to hit the stat cap. So which infusions do you want to make? Mighty or precise? As this purchase is not cheap, it pays to get it right. I will show you how to min-max to arrive at the optimal stat infusions for your characters. There are a few important facts to understand that drive the methodology I'm going to describe. The first is that the hero panel is incorrect. Since the change of base stats to 1,000, the critical chance you see in your hero panel is 1% too high. Thus, if you have a 99% crit chance in your hero panel, your actual crit chance in-game is 100%. As a result, our aim will be to have our hero panel come as close as we can to get exactly to 99%. Second consideration is that many professions have traits that convert a certain percentage of, say, stat X to stat Y, say, convert precision to ferocity. Your stats from gear and food contribute to this, but not from signets or buffs. The only profession where this really matters when it comes to min-maxing is Warrior, as Warrior has both power and precision signets, but can only pick one of the two. Warrior does have a trait that converts precision into ferocity. Thus, a warrior, as I will show, would be better off maximizing their precision from gear and food and using the power signet rather than the other way around. This way, the warrior will get more bonus ferocity and give you overall higher stats. The third thing to know is that Fury, Spotter, and Banner of Discipline grant you exactly 35.24% critical chance. Thus, whatever your base unbuffed crit chance is, you should always add this much to it when making your assumption. The easiest way to do this is to make all of your calculations in the Special Forces training area so you can turn these buffs on and see the results in real time without having to do any paper math. The fourth thing to do is always make the assumption about what gear to get when you are using the meta food for your profession. It does no good to min-max with truffle steaks equipped if you're going to use seaweed salad or rice balls in an actual raid. The fifth thing to keep in mind is I will assume that the ideal crit chance is 100% for each power-based profession. It is possible that some professions will get slightly higher effective power with less than 100% crit chance. However, from a quality of life perspective, having exactly 100% crit chance is very desirable, even if potentially the DPS is 0.00001% suboptimal. And the last thing to keep in mind is that condition damage builds are really easy to figure out. They always want malign infusions, 18 malign infusions, nothing else is going to give you more DPS. So with those factors in mind, let's go through each power-based class and we will see what infusion mix I recommend. Alright guys, on my Guardian build, I'm using head, chest, and legs Assassin's gear. That gets me, with full buffs and Sigil of Accuracy on my hammer, to 96% crit chance. This means we want exactly 3% crit chance from infusions to hit 100. The best way to get that would be to go with 13 precise infusions. Since you have 18 slots, that means for Guardian you want 13 precise infusions and 5 Mighty Infusions. Alright guys, my Mesmer build's a little bit different than most people. I use Commander's Armor and Weapons always, no matter what, just because I don't main Mesmer, so I don't have a lot of different armor and weapon sets to swap around with, and I use Assassin's Earrings, so my crit chance is going to be well higher than someone who's running a full Zerker build. However, I have calculated it. If you have full Berserker everything, except for 2 Assassin's Earrings, it will get you to 57.95% crit chance, and when you add Frost Spirit and Spotter, Spotter and Banner of Discipline, and Fury, you're going to get to 93.19% crit chance, meaning you are well below the 100% crit chance mark, and you're going to want all precise infusions. So I feel fairly comfortable if you're the type of player who might only run 1 Commander's piece or 1 Knight's piece to tank with, or you're the type who just uses full Berserker as your standard stock set, go with all precise infusions. If you're more like me and you use more Commander's gear as your base set, you're going to want to do the math yourself and find out, based on what you use, exactly what crit chance you will get to. Yeah, Mesmer is going to be a lot more variable based on the gear choices that you make, and since there's a lot of different min-max combinations for Mesmer, I highly recommend doing the math on this one yourself. But again, for most people who play just straight Berserker Mesmer with Chronomancer runes, and even if you use 2 Assassin's Earrings or no Assassin's Earrings, you're still going to want all 18 precise infusions. For Thief/Daredevil, you're going to want full Zerker in every slot. That will get you to 93.52% crit chance. However, you have a trait in Crit Strikes that gives you 5% increased critical chance while your health is above 90%. This is not counted in your hero panel. So really, you're at 98.52%, and we just need to get 0.5% to get to 100. You can get that almost exactly with 2 precise infusions. Therefore, for Thief, I would recommend 2 precise infusions like I have in my back piece here, and that will get you exactly where you need to be. All the rest can then be mighty, and you will profit by having 16 mighty infusions, 2 precise infusions. Luckily enough, it's very easy for Revenant. As you can see, Revenant with full Berserker everything and Scholar Runes is going to get to 105% crit chance. You will never see a non-crit on a Rev, so therefore it is quite easy to recommend the full 18 slots of Mighty Infusions if you are so inclined to min-max your Rev. Not much to say, easy, almighty. Well, Staff Ellie is also very easy. The meta Staff Fire build is going to use Accuracy Sigil in the staff, and as you can see, with full Berserker everything, it's going to get to 101.5% crit chance. Therefore, obviously, you don't need to worry about anything except Mighty Infusions on your Staff Ellie. And should you be so inclined to run Dagger Focus Fresh Air, your situation is even better because you reach a whopping 103.6% crit chance with full Zerker, no Assassins anything, and you don't even have to use an Accuracy Sigil. So again, no matter what flavor of DPS Ellie you're running, you are going to want to use full Mighty Infusions. Easy as. Berserker Druid is in a really weird place because it has a very low base crit chance. I'm getting to, 89.66% crit chance, and that is with 2 Assassin's Earrings. In a normal situation, what you would do if you were solely focused on your own DPS is you would replace your Water Sigil with a Sigil of Accuracy, and then you'd use food like Truffle Steak, or better yet, you could use the Focusing Crystal Nourishment. to get you 100 more precision. However, Berserker Druid in raids typically is going to use the Healing Crystal and Rice Ball, and it's going to have to use Water Sigil, so it's not really going to have a place for accuracy. So you're very low on your base crit chance. Therefore, my recommendation is for a Druid, Berserker Druid that is, to use all precise infusions. You want to get that crit chance just as high as possible. So precise infusions in all 18 slots is going to be good. Especially if you were also to focus solely on DPS and not use Rice Balls. You'd probably use Seaweed Salad, so you wouldn't be getting any precision from your food in that regard, so the precise infusions would still be good. So my recommendation is for Druid to use full precise infusions in all 18 slots. Warrior is the class that has the most variability in their options, because Warrior has the option to take a Precision Signet or a Power Signet, and taking one or the other will radically change the balance of what type of gear you want in your build. After crunching the numbers and doing some min-max, what I found is the absolute highest DPS option you can take is to go full Berserker everything. Berserker weapons, armor, and trinkets. Use accuracy and force in your weapons, and use truffle steak as your food, and normal power sharpening stones as your nourishment. With this setup, you will get to exactly 100.09% crit chance, assuming you use 16 precise infusions. If you use 15 precise infusions, you will be just under 100% crit chance. So 16, like I have, is enough to get you to exactly 100. And then, with your remaining 2 infusion slots, you should go Mighty. Other options include not using Accuracy Sigil, and then using Signet of Fury. If you do that, you're going to have to change things around just a little bit, and possibly use a different food other than truffle steak, because you might have too much precision. You'll be looking at still something like sweet and spicy butternut squash soup as your food, and you'll have to use fewer precise infusions and more Mighty. Warrior is the one that's going to have the most variability, like I said, and it's going to be the one that causes you to break out your calculator the most and actually figure out the exact amount of Mighty and precise that you're going to want to use. However, for my money, and as you can see, it's my money since I spent it on my character, it is to go with 16 precise infusions, 2 Mighty infusions, full Berserker everything, with truffle steaks, and Sigil of Accuracy instead of air in your greatsword. This DPS works out to be, just a hair bit better than using the air Sigil and Signet of Fury situation. I was going to do a whole new build guide, but I don't think that is necessary when all we're really changing is 1 Signet and 1 Sigil. So hopefully that helps you guys out, and if you choose to follow my lead and do it this way, great. If you are going to stick with Signet of Fury and Air Sigil, break out your calculators, figure out the precise balance, but there'll be probably some amount of precise infusions that you want and some amount of Mighty mixed in. So that's it for Warrior, guys. Alright guys, I expect a lot more people are interested in min-maxing their characters now with this new system, so hopefully this is helpful to some of you guys out there. If you have any questions specifically regarding your build and what's best, and what differences you do and how that might impact the rest, or any comments, please feel free to leave them below, and I will do my absolute best to answer anything you guys got. Thank you, and I will see you next time.